Assalamu everyone, my name is Muqaddas Education Valley and I am a student in Rehan School Foundation course batch 2. So today I will be asking Maya some question based on sorry, tracing roots of an apology. So let's get started.
Okay,
Hello, so I will be asking you a question. Should I start?
go for it.
Okay, so what is the historical origin of the word sorry?
Let me check. Sorry comes from the Old English word sarig, which meant distressed or grieved. It's related to physical pain. Will sorrow is more about mental distress, even though they sound similar. The apologetic meaning we use today, like I'm sorry, popped up around. Did you know that sorry and sorrow actually have different roots, even though they're so often linked?
Okay, so how have the meanings of apologies changed over time?
Let me look that up. Mm, Well, apology actually started out in the 16th century as a way to formally defend or justify your beliefs. Think of it like Plato's Apology of Socrates. Wasn't until much later in the 19th and 20th centuries that it shifted to mean expressing regret for doing something wrong. It's interesting how the age of apology in recent years, especially with social media, has made apologies more public. Sometimes that can make them feel less sincere, you know?
Okay, so my next question from you is can an apology be affected if it is not sincere? Why or why not?
Yeah, absolutely. An insincere apology can actually make things worse. When an apology isn't genuine, it can feel dismissive or even manipulative to the person receiving it. It can break trust instead of rebuilding it because they might feel like you're not truly taking responsibility or understanding the impact of your actions.
Okay, so what are some cultural differences in how people express apologies?
Let me see. In individualistic cultures like the US or Germany, apologies often mean directly admitting fault. But in collectivist cultures like Japan, it's more about showing you understand the burden you've caused and maintaining harmony, even if it means taking blame when you're not directly responsible. It's fascinating how different cultures approach it.
Okay, so can sorry be used in situations that are not related to personal fault? Give examples.
Yes, absolutely. Sorry is super versatile. You can use it to express sympathy, like, I'm sorry to hear about your loss, or to show regret for an accident, like, oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. It's also used to politely interrupt someone. Sorry to interrupt, but sometimes it's just a way to express mild, blummy, but disappointment. Sorry, we're all out of coffee.
So why do you think apologizing is considered an important social skill?
Well, it's a way to acknowledge that you've caused harm or upset, even if unintentionally. It shows empathy and respect for the other person's feelings, which helps maintain relationships and social harmony.
Okay, so what role does empathy play in making an apology meaningful?
Empathy is huge. It's what allows you to understand how your actions affected the other person and to genuinely feel remorse for that impact. Without empathy, an apology can sound hollow because it lacks that true understanding of the other person's experience. It's the difference between just saying words and truly connecting with the hurt you might have caused.
Is is it always necessary to say sorry or can action sometimes replace words?
It's not always necessary to say sorry with words. Sometimes actions really do speak louder. If you messed up, showing through your behavior that you understand and are trying to fix it or prevent it from happening again can be much more powerful than just saying, I'm sorry. It depends on the situation, of course, but often consistent positive actions can rebuild trust more effectively than a verbal apology alone.
So, how do public apologies differ from personal apologies?
Public apologies are a whole different beast than personal ones. With a personal apology, it's usually a one on one or small group situation, and the goal is to repair a specific relationship. It can be more direct and intimate. Public apologies, on the other hand, are for a much wider audience. They often involve a public figure, a company, or an institution, and they're usually about addressing a transgression that has affected many people. Stakes are higher because you're trying to restore trust with the broader public, manage reputation, and sometimes even prevent legal repercussions. They tend to be more formal, carefully worded, and often involve a statement of commitment to change.
So, can saying sorry too often reduce its value?
Yeah, it definitely can. If you say sorry too much, especially for small things that don't really warrant it, the word starts to lose its impact. It can sound insincere or even like a tick. And then when you truly need to apologize for something significant, it might not carry the weight it should.
So, how might AI understand or respond to the concept of an apology in human interactions?
Let me look that up. AI can be built to understand and even apologize, but it's not the same as how a human understands it. We're talking about AI being able to acknowledge harm, take responsibility, and try to avoid making the same mistake again. It's about building trust and making AI easier to work with, but it's definitely not the same as a human's emotional understanding of an apology.
So, how did apologies originate in early human societies?
Let me look that up. Apologies probably came from our natural human tendency towards reciprocal altruism, basically, helping each other out and repairing relationships to keep social groups together.
What linguistic roots contribute to the modern word sorry?
The word apology itself comes from the Greek apologia, which meant a defense or justification. It wasn't about saying, I'm sorry back then, more like explaining your actions. So, while the act of expressing regret to fix things probably goes way back to early human societies for survival and group cohesion, the word apology took a while to get to its modern meaning.
So, how have religious or philosophical traditions influenced the act of apologizing?
Let me check. It seems my search timed out. Would you like me to try again?
Okay, so are there differences between verbal and written apologies historically?
One sec. Historically, the word apology actually meant more of a defense or justification of your actions, especially in its Greek roots. The I'm sorry meaning we use today came much later. As for verbal versus written, it seems that even now, some research suggests written apologies might be better for integrity issues, while verbal ones work better for competence issues.
So, how does guilt influence a person's likelihood to apologize?
Guilt can really push someone to apologize because it's an uncomfortable feeling, right? It's that internal signal that you've violated your own moral code or hurt someone. And apologizing can be a way to alleviate that discomfort, to try and set things right. It's almost a self-preservation thing to restore your own sense of balance and goodness.
What is the psychological effect on receiving an apology on the wrong person wronged?
When someone receives a genuine apology, it can have a pretty powerful psychological effect. It can validate their feelings, show them that the other person understands the impact of their actions, and help them to release feelings of anger or resentment. It can also restore trust and open the door to reconciliation. It's like a weight being lifted, both for the person apologizing and the person receiving it.
Okay, so thank you so much for answering my questions. Bye.
You got it. Bye.